Meghan Markle and Jeremy Corbyn teamed up against the Queen, the Labour Party attack our veteran, and the EU insiders say that Michel Barnier has been defeated. Hello everybody and welcome to today's show. There's a lot to talk about when it comes to the Labour Party and the European Union, but let's start with one of the weirdest alliances that we've heard recently. It's between Meghan Markle and Jeremy Corbyn. Well, it's not that surprising because they're both extremely weird and left-wing and weird. But so what happened was, obviously, since January this year, when Harry and Meghan decided to slightly step away from their roles and ask for their independence and quiet life. And they've had a very quiet life since then. They've been doing a lot of TV interviews, a lot of speeches, and they have a new book. So this book has some details in it, including the fact that Jeremy Corbyn and Meghan and Harry became kind of friends, and Jeremy Corbyn showed support to Meghan and Harry because Jeremy Corbyn doesn't like the royal family, and an enemy of an enemy is my friend, one of those sort of things. So the whole situation is Harry Cole, one of the obviously best journalists that we have, has decided to do some digging, and he's found out that Jeremy Corbyn gave Meghan Markle and Prince Harry a book of left-wing poetry in solidarity during Megxit. As you remember, Megxit was Meghan leaving the royal family. The Sussexes obviously thanked Jeremy Corbyn for his support and also his wife in a bizarre alliance. This is according to Meghan and Harry's new book called Finding Freedom. I mean, it's not surprising, no one's going to be shocked about this, but it's just disgusting. We know that at the time Jeremy Corbyn was a leader of the opposition, Her Majesty's opposition. And yes, I understand, he was never in favor of the monarchy. Not everybody is, I get it. Some people are Republican, some people just want to cause chaos. But regardless of that, that sort of stuff, especially when it comes to, this was at a public event when this happened, when they met, and that was the exchange word, and obviously this stupid poetry book. It shows how close we got as a country to electing someone so dangerous, Jeremy Corbyn. And luckily that didn't happen. So obviously at the time, Jeremy Corbyn, who was a lifelong critic of the monarchy, met the couple at Westminster Abbey for the annual Commonwealth Day service back in March, where Prince Harry was snapped in stony silence, not speaking to Prince William. Now, Corbyn's wife, Laura Alvarez, who decided not to take his name, slipped them a book it's some sort of book from a Mexican poet who is extremely left-wing, and talks about a lot of issues against the establishment. Now, according to the new book, left out the inside story of Labour under Jeremy Corbyn, Harry and Meghan sent a personal note of great thanks to Jeremy and Laura, our besties. The note said that, "Dear Jeremy and Laura, sending our great thanks for the wonderful work of Mexican literature that you so kindly gave us at the Commonwealth service." Yeah, they're all besties now. So this there's a difference between being just kind and being diplomatic and formal, and actually thanking someone for giving a very, very hard left literature. Yeah, that's normal, guys. Now, this whole thing obviously started since Meghan entered the family. And I don't really care about this whole Harry and Meghan stuff. It's none of my business. And they've left anyway. Well, we're trying to get rid of them. They're still around in the media, just talking nonsense every 2 days. Now Meghan is talking about the US elections because she's an expert in US elections and the Constitution. But their new book is going to create some problems for a lot of people. Because according to Finding Freedom, this new book on Megxit, the one issue was that apparently William, Kate, Charles and Camilla were allowed to walk with the Queen, much to Harry's frustration. But then this was changed at the last minute, so Meghan and Harry entered around the same time as William and Kate. The tension between the roles is revealed in a new book about Megxit. I mean, imagine a massive fight happens because, people walking, who should walk with whom and where and how. It's just embarrassingly childish. But this is one issue. I want to put that aside because yes, Jeremy Corbyn is disgusting. Meghan is weird, and luckily neither of them are a massive risk right now to this country, hopefully, and our values. But the Labour Party is still a massive risk. The Labour Party are now attacking our veterans. Who would have thought? When Keir Starmer became leader, he said that this is a renewal. This is not the same Labour Party that we had under Jeremy Corbyn. We're going to be pro-country, pro-Queen, pro-veterans and our armed forces. Things have changed. Yeah, so basically the Labour Party is now calling to pause this legislation that protects our veterans from prosecution years after their service. And the Defence Secretary, the Tory Defence Secretary, Ben Wallace, has said that this is a slap in the face. Yeah, so he's not happy, and he says obviously this is in fact a slap in the face to veterans after his opposition shadow said that new measures to protect the troops breached human rights laws. Sure. Yeah, the planned overseas operations bill due before MPs next month. This is obviously talking about how obviously after 5 years of service, the veterans will be protected. That includes people who served in Iraq and Afghanistan, and the whole point of it is to protect the troops from complaints and by tank chasing lawyers, as they say in the Sun. It's true. I mean, and it's a very big problem because when you have Labour's John Healey saying that this clearly creates a risk that serious violations go unpunished, it's absolutely nonsense. It is nonsense because obviously if something goes wrong now, regardless of who it is and their rank or anything, we deal with it. We still have something called the rule of law, and we're talking about a situation where whether it was Northern Ireland, whether it was again other situations we've had in the past with our veterans, there are people who want to take advantage and they use these left-wing lawyers to drum up these cases and essentially go after our veterans, the people who served to save and protect this country. What's the point of the Labour Party? Seriously. Yeah, so Ben Wallace has said that Labour's newfound facade of supporting our armed forces has been exposed for what it is: fake. Pausing the bill is a slap in the face to veterans who have gone through the turmoil of dealing with vexatious claims and everything else. And yeah, he's right. Otherwise, why are we even considering this bill? Because there's a need for it. And the Labour Party going against it, well, they need to rethink and reevaluate their own angle. Now, you think that's bad? That's the Labour Party. The European Union are also not doing too well. EU insiders are now saying that Michel Barnier and his team have been defeated. They are tired, frustrated, and they are completely pessimistic about the future of this relationship and trade deal between the UK and the EU. According to the Express, EU insider lifts lid on how Barnier's negotiating camp now racked with defeatist pessimism. So they're now obviously talking about how one of the EU sources said that outsiders don't realise how pessimistic we have become in Brussels. So they've said that we expect the mood to switch rapidly to contingency planning in expectation that the UK will throw itself into the blame game rather than the end game. The idea that if we do end up with no deal, it will be because the EU underestimated the UK's determination is misplaced. That's a good point, and I'm going to get back to this, but they say if it happens, it will be because there was no overlap of interests allowing a landing zone. You know what, that's actually a fair point, and I'll explain why. Because especially recently with David Frost and Boris Johnson over the last few months, and especially over the last couple of months since we decided not to extend the transition period, the EU and Michel Barnier know completely that we are determined to sort this out. We are determined to leave by the end of this year, with or without a deal. So that insider is technically right that the EU know that the UK is determined. It's not like the same UK government that we had under Theresa May. The problem is that both sides obviously are becoming quite stubborn. The UK wants its sovereignty, which is fine and right, and the EU don't want to change anything when it comes to their bloc, which is nonsense because they always do. They always make last minute changes. Whether it was the financial arrangement with Greece, they make changes. Whether it was the recent budget, the financial crisis budget with the rest of Europe, they made changes. Whether it was the deal with Canada, they made changes. So if they want to, they can. So Michelle Barnier has now said that too often it felt as if we were going backwards more than forwards. Given the short time left, what I said in London in July remains true. At this stage, an agreement between the UK and the European Union seems unlikely. I simply do not understand why we are wasting valuable time. Well, I can tell you that, Michelle, it's because you people are just being weird about your protectionist bloc. You know, you could just be slightly flexible. You could have a trade deal with the UK based on just trade, not political alignment, and both sides could win. If you say no, the UK could leave without a deal on WTO terms. We could have our own trade deals with other countries. You know, we've talked about Kanzuk, you know, the different countries, and the US and other big countries like South Korea and Japan, and you'll be on your own. You'll lose your biggest partner. And you know, we've been saying this on this channel for a long time. Europhiles and Remainers don't really listen. So this is the video we have for today. Before we finish, a quick note. Obviously, as you know, we have this new studio. The last few days we had some issues with the sound and audio. We fixed it now. Hopefully give me a feedback in the comment section. Please say it's good. Can't make more changes. Also, we have a new schedule which I'll put at the end of the video. We have a new planner when it comes to the daily shows. 5:45 p.m. and 8 p.m. We're going to be obviously launching this new schedule. As I said, just watch the end of the video. We're going to put it on the screen fully so you can see. And obviously, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And if you want to support us and so we could continue our work against the mainstream media and their complacency, feel free to become a member. The link is in the description. You get a lot of perks and benefits. Again, if you look at the schedule at the end, you could actually see the perks that you get as a member. And that's it for now. The last thing I want to say is that the phone number, we have a call-in show now every week, once a week. So we have a separate phone. It's not my personal phone number, so if you try to call, to troll or text me, I'm not going to get it. We're going to turn on the phone every day, 11 a.m. till 12 p.m. UK time, and the phone number is 07538 605 412, or if you call from abroad, obviously 0044 7538 605 412. So give us a call, ask any questions you have, and we'll put it in the video for everyone to see. I'm ITC. I'll see you guys in the next video.